Good morning, Vietnam! What is up, everybody? Welcome to Trey's, where we freaking talk fast and don't skip class. I like to preface by saying that I'm not a financial advisor nor expert, so take what I say with a grain of salt. Let's get into the video. So we actually just put together a freaking cat tree for Titan. I don't know where he is. Titan, come here, buddy. He must be chilling, but I'm excited because he's not going to scratch up my arms anymore, man. He's been freaking using and abusing my my hands and arms and stuff. But I'm going to talk about a couple different things here. So I want to go over the technical analysis, the Ortex data, the short sale volume ratio percentage, and I also want to clear up some of the conversations that have been happening over the weekend. Right? I put out a video on Thursday talking about my game plan moving forward in terms of what's happening with AMC as well as the broad market, and I said, hey, offer your opinions, offer some criticism, some feedback, and I will definitely read it, and I can make some clarification points and or adjustments if necessary. And the big two things that I want to talk about are this. I've seen points saying, Trey is done talking about AMC, is moving on. And I've also seen that YouTubers are being paid to shut up and step away from the stock. And I think the most important thing that I can say about both of these things is as such. Myself, I'm not stepping away from AMC. In my video, I very clearly state that I'm not going to stop making AMC stock update videos. I only simply think that what's happening with the stock on a day-to-day basis is very simple. The shorts haven't covered their positions yet. They're still naked short selling, high-frequency trading, failure to deliver systemic problems within the stock market that are happening. And you still have the apes. The apes haven't gone anywhere. They still like the freaking stock. They still want their lemon pepper tendies, baby. That's as simple as it is. And if there's news that comes out, important due diligence, important information, you can bet your ass I'm going to cover it. Simple as it gets. What I mean by this is maybe I put out 3 or 4 AMC update videos a week, and I also give you broad education towards what's happening in the stock market, right? I'm not stepping away. I'm not fucking leaving. That's as simple as it gets. I've believed in the stock for almost 8 months, actually 8 months now, and I still believe in it. I still want the apes to step away from this, winning the trade, because to me, this stock is very simple. It's about conviction. It's about anger, frustration, and speaking out against problems within the stock market. That's it. That's it. And I'm not stepping away from that. So the other thing I want to talk about is YouTubers getting paid to shut up. Myself. I make it a point to keep my blinders on, right? Whenever I make any sort of video, whenever I put out information, I give you my unfiltered opinion. That's it. I make it a point not to watch other people's stuff before I put out an opinion, before I make any sort of decision on what's happening here. So I can't speak on other YouTubers. What I can tell you about myself is this. I haven't been paid by anybody. I have no interest in stopping even talking about the stock. No interest at all. I'm still going to give you updates. I still want to keep the apes and the freaking know-how in the loop in terms of what's happening here. But simple as it gets, even if I was, which I'm not, you guys don't need me. You're in the loop. You know what's happening right now, right? I don't think that's what's happening. I think maybe possibly what could have happened here is people saw, that I was deciding to cover other things in the market, and they wanted to do that. That's I can't speak for them, though. I can only speak for myself, right? They'd have to come up personally, publicly, make their own statements and do what they want to do. But I'm not stepping away, man. I'm still going to cover the stock. I'm still going to give you guys the updates, the information that you need. I also just want to teach you about other broad educational things within the market that can apply to AMC, that can apply to different things in the stock market. So when you're done with the stock, you've made your freaking tendies, you've gone to the chicken church, Kraken Kingdom, you've raked it in, you're ready. You've got everything that you need. You've got the tools ready and available to you. So that's kind of what I've got going on right here. Hopefully that answers some questions. And I guess we'll just give you the update that I wanted to give you here in terms of what's happening. So starting off with the Ortex data, let's just chat very briefly about the short interest and the utilization and the cost to borrow, because I think these are the 3 biggest things that are important. When you have the run up from $14 all the way up to 72, there was 2 things that had happened. The utilization was at 100%, and it was at 100% for a prolonged period of time. Now, what I think happened here with that utilization is you had a forced share loan recall, right? All of these shares that were out on the market, there was like 150 million total shares borrowed into the market, got forcibly recalled. They had to, essentially cover them heavy very, very quickly. And you see that right here, 98% utilization, all the way down to 77. It happened very fast. And the reason for that is supply and demand. There was a crap ton of demand and not a lot of supply because the utilization was maxed out. Now, I say this is important because the utilization is starting to go back up. It's a 91.63%, and that's a pretty sharp increase from what you've seen in the previous month of trading. So that's a good thing to see. Short interest also making a pretty nice little climb, very slow one, 14.5% all the way up to 15.21 estimated short interest of free float, and that is 85% of the exchange reported data. Could very easily be 18, 20, 25, 30%, but we're using this as a baseline, conservative baseline, so that you can see the overall trend in terms of what is happening with the stock. Cost to borrow maximum, also 19%. This is an annualized interest rate that essentially puts pressure on short positions and incentivizes them not to hold their positions for long periods of time. Remember this. This is an advantage the apes have over any sort of short position in the market, is you're not paying an interest rate. You don't have to have heavy collateral to establish a position. And in a short position, maybe you can only play half your portfolio, a quarter of your portfolio in any given security because you have to put up X amount of collateral for risk management. That's a pro to being an ape, my friends. First off, you're not a freaking hedge fuck. That's already the biggest win of all time. But secondly, you don't got to worry about this stuff. So this is actually a step in the right direction, a slow one. It's part of the process, right? But you're making progress. So keep that in the back of your mind. Each individual day, take a step back, look at how far you've come. That'll motivate you to keep moving forward. So the daily short sale volume percentage, this also kind of affirms what you're seeing in terms of the stock price and the Ortex data, because the shorting has slowly been going up the last 4 days. 39%, 42, 40, and 44% of the overall market volume in AMC stock has been short volume. That's actually interesting because the short interest has gone up as well as the utilization, which tells me a couple of things. This is probably why the price has been going down the last couple of days, very slightly, but it has. And also why the utilization is going up, because you have more shares that are being held on loan. There are shorts out there who are essentially saying, look, I think that this is a pivot point where you can push the stock price down. I would disagree based on technical analysis, but it does show you what's happening in the broad market sense of AMC stock and why you have seen the moves that you have in the last 3 or 4 days. Moving forward, what can you expect in this next upcoming trading week? You are in a little bit of a spring-loading sort of formation here, right? So what you've watched happen is a stair-stepping of higher lows. Lower, higher low, higher low, higher low, higher low, higher low. Every individual time that it's trying to dip down, it's losing steam. To put this in a psychological sort of sense, this means that the shorts, the people out there who are short selling the stock, maybe trying to push this down, colluding the stock, they're losing steam. They're losing strength with each individual dip back down. Very, very simply put, that's how you can think of it. And on top of that, you have this squeeze down effect on the overall chart setup. Now you've got kind of two things that are fighting each other a little bit here. You did have a head and shoulders pattern, head, shoulder, shoulder, which didn't end up coming to fruition. So you can probably already watch that. But the bullish setup here is these higher lows and the spring loading effect, right? You have this descending level of resistance, ascending level of support, sort of springing this thing together to get a push back up to that $44 to $50 range. Now what I'm expecting is this. If it was to happen tomorrow, you're looking for a push over $38.50 to ultimately retest $40, which I think would come pretty easily, back up to the high of this day right here at about $46.80 or so, right? But first it's going to come at $44 an 82-cent level of resistance, and a push over that is going to bring you up to that $50 mark. Is that going to happen on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday? It doesn't matter if it does. You're in this for the squeeze. If you're playing options, different story, right? You have to come up with some sort of plan for that. You have to know what you're doing. You have to have a game plan, because if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. But the squeeze setup here, my friends, it's just a matter of time, waiting this thing out, and having patience, having conviction in your trade, right? To put this very simply, right? This is what I kind of want to leave you with. Keep your freaking blinders on. If you believe in the stock, you really think this is going to squeeze, outside noise, outside opinions, FUD, all this sort of nonsense that's bouncing around right now, it's all garbage. It doesn't matter. You don't need that, because ultimately, the thesis behind this trade is as simple as this. There's still apes that like the stock. The shorts have not covered their positions because shorts are automatic buyers. The 15% short interest on the stock, eventually those guys are going to have to buy the stock back. They have to. They have to. They can't hold it for the rest of eternity. They can't. The third thing is just still systemic problems within the stock market. Failure to deliver, naked short selling, algorithmic trading, short ladder attacks, high frequency trading, all of these things, collusion, market media, all this BS, my friends, still there. I'm passionate about this. I have been there. Remember your why. My why, my friends, is that this stuff makes me angry. The freaking suppression of the little guy, of the retail trader, the retail worker makes me angry. And I want to make my fucking old man proud. My pops that passed away 5 years ago from a heart attack, I just think all the time about the things that he'd want me to do with my life. Find that why. Find that conviction. Remember your conviction behind the stock, and keep your blinders on. Because this stock, my friends, is very simple. You like it, you buy it, you hold it. That's literally it, my friends. So that's what I've got for everybody. Blah, blah, blah. Don't spoil it up, because you're on. Catch you on the next one. Light taps. I don't know where Titan is. He's probably freaking chilling. He's probably sleeping. But catch you on the next one. Much love and peace.